probably going to mess up, and that's totally cool because that's part of it. You just keep moving, keep trying, keep doing things. And it's a philosophy that I still live by. Welcome back to episode 36. CANI, as in C-A-N-I. CANI stands for Constant and Never-Ending Improvement. And it is something I learned many years ago when working for Tony Robbins. And not sure if you guys know who Tony is. There's always definitely people out there that are like, I have no idea who he is. But he's basically known as the world's most well-known inspirational speaker, coach, life coach, business coach. He's on stage. He started with infomercials in the States, and I believe it was sometime in the 80s. But yeah, that's where I learned him from. CANI. We'll go into that more in a minute. So I remember graduating from San Diego State University, which is where I lived at the time. I had an international business degree, and I was starting to look for work. And it wasn't as easy back then to look for work as, you know, going on like Seek or one of those sort of big websites to look for jobs. I honestly think I found this in a newspaper, in like the ads area in a newspaper. And it was this ad, and it's like, looking for customer service reps for Robbins Research International. And the little 24-year-old in me, because that's how old I was when I graduated, she was thinking, oh, cool. It must be like a global think tank, you know, whatever the hell that was. But I literally was like, international, and I have an international business degree. So funny. Anyway, I applied. I got an interview. Interview was going quite well. And after the interview, I pretty much was pretty sure I was going to get the job. And they said, well, before we take it to the next step, I want you to come and sit in this boardroom. We're going to pop something on the TV for you. So I walked into the boardroom, and it was just me. And they had this like old school TV with like a VHS player. And they popped the tape in the player, and they hit play. And they said, hey, Heather, sit back and watch this. This is going to be your new boss. So I sat back in the chair, and guys, there was this incredibly powerful man that came onto the television and was really full on. And I had never heard of Tony Robbins ever. I was looking back, and after I found out, you know, after working there for a while, I was probably only like 1% of the people that actually started working for the company that had no idea who he was before they got hired or before they applied for the job. So I was one of them. And I was watching this guy like on the tape. And I think from memory, he sort of had a message for you as the candidate for the job, but also they showed like a show reel of him on stage. And I'm thinking, no way. What am I about to get myself into? And I can honestly say from that moment, my life would never, ever have been the same again. So I was hired as a customer service rep, technically, but when I was meeting my new boss, he basically said, no, you know what? I know you're just starting out from uni, but you're probably going to be overqualified for this. I think straight away that you should actually go into a different department. So I moved straight away into IT, and back in the day, I remember I had to issue pagers for the executive team, and I learned how, you know, to build the intranet website for the internal team, and that's kind of where I started, you know, I suppose with digital marketing and building websites, but it was kind of an interesting thing, and I was in that team not for too long, and then I changed roles again to be the executive assistant for the head of production. Funny story on that. On the side of working for Tony Robbins, I had my own company called 911 Art, meaning like in the States, 911 obviously is like you dial emergency, you know, equivalent to 000 here, for example. So I was 911 Art, like emergency art, and we did art, fashion, and music events in San Diego, in California. And one time, a couple of the women that worked in the production team for Tony, they randomly came to the event, and they were at the event, and they're like, oh my gosh, Heather, you know, what are you doing here? And I said, oh, this is my event. I run these events. And they're like, what? Why are you in IT? So that's how I moved basically into that other team for production, running some of the events, EA to the head of production, all of that. here's the thing. So over 3 years, roughly, I worked there full time in San Diego at the headquarters for Tony. And this Kanai sort of philosophy was something we were taught, and it stayed with me ever since. The idea is that there's no such thing as perfection in your work, in your life, that you always look for ways to improve what you're doing, and that you keep continually trying new things. Kanai, constant and never-ending improvement. Constant and never-ending improvement, right? As long as you are doing something, that is the key. As long as you are doing something. And it's kind of like a mindset that, you know what, you're probably going to mess up, and that's totally cool because that's part of it. You just keep moving, keep trying, keep doing things. And it's a philosophy that I still live by. Because guys, you will never truly be ready, will you? I mean, really, are we ever truly ready for anything? Just get out there and work on the new project, test that new campaign, hire that new person, and then just work on it one step at a time to make it better. Because if you're going out there trying to be perfect, it's going to stress you out beyond all means. And this way, if you can inherit this mindset, you're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm probably going to mess up. It's probably not going to be perfect. All good. Let's just give it a go. That's it. Talk to you guys soon. Enjoy your week.